Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the five live class. I think we should start now. We can't be waiting for others every day. Mail is always sent before a day before the class and 30 minutes reminder before the class. And I don't know why people always come late, but I think we can start and they will catch up whenever they see, whatever the meetups. I don't know how many persons has done their assessment there. If you can hear me, please say yes in the chat. Please, you can say yes in the chat. If you can hear me, say yes in the chat. Okay. So how many persons have done their assessment? If you've done your assessment, just say yes. Okay, tell me. Well done. Who else? Okay, Esther. I think Esther, I saw yours. Yes. Okay, Ikechukwu, I think I saw yours. Okay, no, I've not seen yours, Ikechukwu, halfway through. Okay. Any other person? Just two persons. But don't know to upload. Sorry, where was it sent, please? See, hello guys. I always see most times where a lot of people ask me questions and ask us questions. What we do, we try as much to bridge the communication gap. And I don't think for now there's any kind of communication gap. So if there's any gap in between, it's coming from your end. Because during the onboarding day, we talked about the use of Slack and also email for communication, and we spelled out that for Slack, if you're in Slack, you go to your resources to see all live videos, all the recorded videos, and you can go to the announcement to see everything concerning the bootcamp, how to submit your assessment, where to get the link, and everything has been posted on an announcement channel and also sent to you via mail. But I see a lot of people still asking me the same questions. We need to move ahead, and instead of asking, attending to one particular question all over and all over again. Please, for you to how you can get your assessment, check your mail. We've sent invites to everybody on your mail, and if you've not seen that invite, go to the announcement channel on the Slack. You will see the link to join the Google Classroom. After you've joined the Google Classroom, you see the instruction for the assessment or the assignment. After you've gone through the instruction, when you concluded the assessment on your Figma workspace, you share the link same on the Google Drive on the Google Classroom. The video on how to submit your assessment has also been posted on the Slack channel. Please, I don't know if anybody has another misunderstanding. Hello, is there any other form of miscommunication? Please, you can mute your mic and speak. If you've not done it and you don't know where the link is and you don't know how to access it, please unmute and speak. Hello, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, say yes. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, say yes, please. Okay, so we've gone through some aspect of design, exposing you guys on how to draw shapes, what it takes for you guys to actually design on Figma canvas. We also taught you guys concerning how to insert images and text on your design file. So today we'll be talking about visual design principle as it relates to color and as well as text. I saw a lot of design, and yes, you guys are beginners, and the reason why we gave that assessment is for you to actually do your first design. So after the end of the bootcamp, when you do your final design, you can be able to compare your first from your last, from your first and your final design within the bootcamp. So you can actually measure your growth and measure your success. Welcome, Victor. Please, you can mute your mic. Victor, you can mute your mic, please. Victor, please, you can mute your mic.
I don't think.
Oh my god, did you see the last episode of Gossip Girl? Shannon
Victor,
just had
please,
a
can you
baby
mute
with
your
his
mic?
wonderful sister. And she's adopted. He's flying to Europe.
Can you guys see my screen? If you can see my screen, say yes in the chat box. Okay, 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 okay. Thank you. So today we'll be talking about visual design principle. We're talking about visual design principle as it relates to colors and as well as it relates to text. So, what is visual design principle? These are simply the rules you must follow as designer to create an effective and attractive design. These principles guide designers to present visual elements in a way that is functional, accessible, and appealing to users. So it's just a guideline users designers follow in order to create functional design that is accessible and appealing to the users. So like the assessment we gave, like I said, we actually saw a lot of designs uh, that was not actually obeying the guidelines of visual design. What we did was to give you those assessments so you see what you've done. Then after then we start teaching you what the guidelines are, what the principles of color is, and also what the principles of text is. So today will be so fast because we have a lot of stuff to cover. Um, One of the visual design principle for color is called color harmony. So I think we'll be talking about six today. Then we'll go to text and talk about 6 to 7. So one of the color design principle for color is called color harmony. This means using the right proportions, values, and variations of colors to create a balanced and cohesive design. Using the right proportion of color, the right values of color, and also variations of colors to create a balanced and cohesive design. As a UI UX designer, you don't just use color. We understand that you play with colors, you play with a lot of stuffs and all of that. But for you to actually create an appealing design, a design that is actually that appeals to users' emotions, there are standard you must follow, and one of the standard is called color harmony. So what are the tips to actually create design that actually harmonize uh, with color? One is using the 60 to 10 rule. The 60-30-10 rule states 60 60% of your color 60% of your color should match to your primary color. It actually shows that the dominant color, the color that is more accessible, should be at least 60%. That's what's called your primary color. Then 30% amount to your secondary color. Those secondary color actually support your primary color. Those secondary color can be used for maybe secondary buttons and can be used for areas that does not show, that does not command full attention on users. Hello, can you guys hear me? Okay, 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 okay. Sorry, my system. So the secondary color talks about color that actually supports the primary color. Let's see a website. Let's see paper, paper, paper. Let's access the paper website. If you can see this paper website using the 60-30-10 rules Okay, who can talk? Who can tell me? Okay, yeah. Okay, one say yellow, white. Okay, any other person? Okay, blue. Okay, in the PayPal website, the most important color that actually account for 60%. When we say 60%, it doesn't mean that that's where that the color that is actually more visible. Most times, is the color that is used on important elements on the website. If you can see, one of the important elements on the website is your ego section. You can see reward your day. This section is called the hero section. This hero section is a section that actually give attraction to users. It's the first section that when user approaches your website, those are the section that users actually see, and it's actually bold enough to actually captivate the users. If you can see, the color that is actually used on the hero section is blue. Reward your day, and also primary colors are actually used, dominant colors are actually used on primary buttons. If you can see, these are primary buttons. If you can see, these are primary buttons. This is a primary button. This is a primary button. Primary buttons are buttons that actually used for call to action, that actually cause users' attention into taking an action. It might be maybe an action to like invite your friends, an action to sign up on a page, an action to consummate the transactions and all of that. So you can see on our primary button, the blue was actually dominant and the blue was used. You can see another primary button, sign up. So the blue color is actually the most dominant color. Is used for the most important element. You can see on this aspect, more places to shop, more ways to make your money work. It actually portray the meaning the users want to actually see. Sign up is the primary button that actually calls users to take action. So these are how you actually see. No, James, 60% is the blue, while 30% is the white. Then yellow is 10%. You get, so like I said, it's not actually the color that shows, maybe your background. You can actually use your primary color, maybe 60% on your background. But in some cases, is the color that's actually used on the most important element. What are the most important elements on your website? You talk about the call to action. You talk about your primary buttons and all those stuff. You talk about your ego section. Yeah. So let's move forward. One of the tips also that you can get for color harmony is that you must understand your color theory. Like I said, we talk about primary colors, secondary colors, the tertiary colors, and all of that. You must understand your your color theory. Also, you use your color palette consistently across all elements. I think as we progress on in the bootcamp, we teach you about color palette, how to create color palette, and also how to come up with primary color and secondary color and tertiary color. So let's move down to practices to avoid if you want to maintain color harmony. Okay, I said avoid color that is all bright. Overusing bold or bright colors, inconsistency use of colors across user interface elements, missing too many colors and lack of contrast. So let's get colors that actually seek attention, like that is actually seeking or calling for much attention, color that is very very bright. Let's see something like green. Let's see something like green, something color that is very 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 bright. Then let's see another color. Let's see something like orange. These are colors that's actually showing, that is actually too bright, seeking for attention. Let's see color like, let's see this. Then let's get another color. Let's get something like pink. Let's get something like pink. get something like okay, okay. The principle of color harmony state that you should actually blend colors that will create balance and cohesive or like appealing that will appeal to customer user emotion. If we can see this color, we have green. This color is actually bright that you can actually seek attention at anywhere in all designs. You can see this color that looks like orange or yellow is actually bright that can actually seek attention at all level. You can see this color that is bright that can actually seek attention at each level. So let's, for example, let's design an input feed and blend these two colors together. Let's say enter enter your email address. Enter your email address. Let's add okay. Um okay, let's blend these colors together. Let's give the background of this input feed. Let's give it the green color and let's see how our design will look like. Let's give it a green color. Then let's give our text color. Let's give it this color, this pink color. As you can see, this is actually a bad design because it's actually blending two colors that is so sharp. You can see it's most times some users might not be able to like access this design because this color does not actually show harmony between those two colors. This design rather does not actually show harmony between these two colors. So when you are actually designing, you should avoid colors, blending colors that is actually too bold, too sharp, and colors that actually seek attention at the same level. We can actually improve on this design. How can we improve on this design? Let's say let's improve on this design. And we have different sites where we can actually, get colors that actually blend, that you can actually, harmonize your design together. Let's go to Kulos, Kulos dot co, Kulos dot. Okay, if you are here, just say yes in the chat box. If you can hear me and see my screen, just say yes. If you can hear me, say yes. Okay. Okay. One of the two we can actually use to get color that actually blend, that can actually harmonize our design is coolers.co. If you are new to the website, you can actually sign up. As you can see, I've created an account and this is my dashboard, this is my profile and all those stuff. So immediately you log on to the website, it will give you a prompt where you sign up, and when you sign up, you come to this dashboard. When you come to this dashboard, you can click on Start the Generator. So Kulos is a platform that can actually that gives us 5 different colors that can actually blend, or that can actually harmonize in our design. If you can see, like I said, these are 5 different colors that can actually harmonize in your design. You can see these colors are not too bright, they are not too shouty, they are not all seeking attention like the one we just used on our example. We talk about the green, the pink, and the yellow. And if you want to create, or if you want to generate another color aside this, what you need to do, just press your backspace on your computer. When you press on backspace on your computer, it will give you when you press your space bar rather on your computer, it will give you 5 different colors that can harmonize together, that can blend together. So let's use this recommendation. Let's take this color, let's copy this color, let's improve on our design. Let's copy this color and let's improve on our design. So let's use that color we've copied to actually create another design. Let's use that for our background, black 0000. If you can see, even this color does not actually blend. Why? Because both of them are actually too bold and they are seeking for too much attention. And let's get another color from colors. Let's get this color. Let's get this color and let's use it on our test color as our test color. If you can see, this design is more organized, more professional than this one. It will be very difficult for users not to be able to see this design. It will be very difficult for users not to be able to see this. Unlike this, that it will actually strain the eyes of all of various users. Not all users that can actually see this design. So this combination is actually a bad design. So one way you can actually create, you can actually get colors that harmonize together is through colors. So I don't know if you are there, say yes. Let me know you guys are still following.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So like I said, you must actually, for UI UX design, one of the visual principle that guides color is that you must actually get colors that blend together, that actually create this harmony, that create balance. So don't always get colors that is too bold and too bright. Don't blend those colors together. So let's move to the second uh, principle of visual design. The other principle is color contrast. The principle states that when designing and you need to combine two colors, make sure that the two colors create a good contrast, with one being a lighter version of the other. So when you are actually making a design, when you want to actually blend colors, make sure that the two colors you are blending, whether two, three colors you are blending, one is actually a lighter version of the other. You don't actually blend two colors that are similar, too close to themselves. Let's take this design again. Let's take this design again and let's use red as the background. Red. Let's use red as the background. And let's get a shade of red that is actually close to this red for the test. Let's get a shade of red. Let's get a shade of red. This is red. So the principle of contrast is that color contrast is that when you are creating a design or when you are making a design, make sure when you are blending two colors, one is a lighter version of the other. So if you can see this test color, which is a shade of red, is not actually a lighter version of this red. So the principle of contrast will not actually work in this area. So when you are actually blending colors, make sure that your background color or your text color, whichever you want to use, it's not a rule that you must use a bold or a bold color for a background or a lighter version for a background. If you're choosing to use a bold color for your background text, for your background, make sure you use a lighter version on your text color. If you are using a lighter version on your background, make sure you use a bold color on your text. So we can actually improve on this design. Let's 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 create let's create a card. uh, let's draw a frame. Let's create a card and let's give an example of what we're saying. Let's create a card on, let's say, an insurance. Maybe you want to insure your dog, or you want to insure your animal. So let's put here. Let's create insure 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 your happiness. Let's Okay. Let's put this here and let's create another test. Let's say award award winning dog. Award winning dog and cat. Okay. Let's reduce this. Let's take this to, let's say 16. Let's put it here. Let's put it here as. Then let's create another test. Maybe a body. Let's create another test. Let's get a plugin to get a logarithm to get test. Okay, let's generate. Okay. Then let's get a frame so we can actually get a picture and put a picture here. So let's use Unsplash. Okay. Let's use Unsplash to get. Let's get a dog. Let's get a dog. Okay, let's use this. So we're trying to establish contrast, color contrast. This is not. I want to create a button, but please, this is not. We are not teaching you how to create a button now. We'll teach you how to create a button later, but not now. So let's create a button. Let's create a button. Let's give this 20 padding. Let's give this 12. Okay. Then let's give this corner radius, let's say 15. Okay. So these are our button. We've created our button. So let's put this here. The principle of color contrast states that when you are blending two colors, make sure that one color is the brighter version of the other. So how do you get a brighter version and a bold version? Most often when you're using a text color and a background color, that's where you get a bold and a brighter color. So let's take blue. Let's use our background color to be blue, and let's get another shade of blue for our text color. So let's put blue. Let's put blue here. Let's get another shade of blue. Let's use this shade of blue. Let's use this shade of blue. Let's use this shade of blue. Okay, then yeah, let's use this shade of blue for the button. Then let's use blue. for the test button, blue. If you can see, this is actually a bad design. This is actually a bad design. Why? Because the principle of contrast says we should use a bright color or when we are blending two colors, we make sure that there's a good contrast. We blend one of the color is a lighter version of the other. If you can see, the test color is not a lighter version of the background color. So we can actually improve on this design. How do we improve on this design? We make sure that since we are using the background color as blue, we can actually get a lighter version that we'll use on the test. So let's improve on this design. Let's improve on this design. Let's copy this. Let's copy this. And let's get a lighter version of blue. Let's get a lighter version of blue. This is where you get a lighter version. Yeah, for any color, this is where you get a lighter version. So if we definitely get a lighter version of blue, you can see this can actually improve our design. It can actually improve the readability. Users can actually read this. It's actually appealing to users. So let's get let's get another lighter version. Let's get a lighter version. Mind you, this is not white. This one is blue and not white. Let's get a lighter version. You can see this is actually a better design than this. This one is a poor design. This is actually a better design than this. Please, if you're following, just say yes on the chat board. Please, if you understand, say yes on the chat board. Let's move. Okay. So that's the principle of color contrast. You must actually get a lighter version of the bolder color you are using. Please don't blend two bold colors together. It actually doesn't show, or it doesn't create contrast. The third principle is color psychology. You can see the tips to actually achieve color contrast. One, use brighter colors over darker background and darker colors over more brilliant backgrounds. Understand and use the color wheel. Follow accessibility guidelines. Prioritize test legibility and make sure your test is actually legible. Keep a consistent color scheme for all interactive elements such as buttons, links, and your call to action. Also, practice to avoid, if you want to maintain color contrast, avoid using similar colors for test and background. Like this, these ones are very similar. The color for the test and the color for the background is way similar. It doesn't actually show contrast. Then do not rely solely on color to convey information or integrate action and all stuff. So let's move to color psychology. What is color psychology? When using colors to try to invoke the right emotion at the right time. Color psychology, when using colors to color psychology, when using colors to invoke the right emotion at the right time, users do attach meanings to colors. So your colors should pass the right message. So when you're trying to use color to give a meaning to something, make sure that color actually pass the right message. Most times a lot of color is when using color is actually cultural. Most times in the Western world, the white is actually used for maybe weddings and stuff, but for some part of the Eastern world, white can be actually be used for maybe funerals and all of that. So most times when you're actually blending colors, you actually put the user's emotion in place. Make sure the right color is used to actually pass the right message. So one of the tips to achieve color psychology: one, you must and you should understand the color meanings. What colors actually means. Most times, when we see red actually symbolizes energy. Red actually most times symbolize passion and danger. You cannot actually use maybe blue or green color where you want to, design a danger zone. It will not actually pass the right message. And also, color like blue actually portrays trust, calmness. That's why most times you see blue is always used in the fintech world, the banking industries and all of that. If you check most banks or most fintech app, not all fintech app actually, but most actually use blue as a dominant color. The app we actually this thing we actually saw paper, you can actually see that blue is their color. If you check First Bank uh, in Nigeria, you can actually see that blue is their color. So most times you see all this industry actually uses specific colors. So when you are actually designing for industries, make sure you understand the industry you are designing for. Make sure you actually understand the meanings of color. Don't just use color because you want to design. Not all color actually portray the right meaning. So most especially if you want to design a law, let's say for example a website for a law firm, using color like using color like uh, pink doesn't actually portray what the law profession stand for. You understand that one of the colors that the law profession actually uses most often is white and black. You can actually use a gray color on their website as well. So make sure you understand the meaning of colors and also consider cultural context. Like I said, most in the Western world, white actually symbolizes peace, purity, and they can actually be used for occasions, wedding occasions. But in other part of the world, white is not used for weddings. It's actually used for burials and other ceremonies. So understand your cultural context because you are not actually designing for yourself. You're actually designing for users. And for you to actually captivate users, you must understand the meaning of colors and at what extent does that color applies to that culture. So you are not actually designing for one just you can actually work on app that will be used on a global scale. So if you're actually using working on an app that is actually that will actually be used on a global scale, you must actually put different culture into consideration. So let's get an example of what we have been saying so far. Let's get a frame. Let's get a frame. Okay. And get let's get an icon. Let's use material design, material symbol. Okay. Let's get a danger icon. Danger. Sorry. Let's use another. Let's use hero icon. Let's see if we get danger here. Okay. Just a minute, please. Let me get an icon that will actually portray what we are saying. Material. Okay. Okay. Let's take this one inside. Okay. let's take this and let's write, let's see, danger. If you are actually designing a website or you're actually designing an app and you want to portray a message, or you want to use an icon, and that icon signify danger, and if you're using something like this, green, just a minute please, this icon is not, just a minute please, let me get a good icon. These plugins most times, let's use this. So, let's say for example we want to portray this as, using this does not actually show the right way of using of portraying the danger. This does not actually signify danger. Why? Because it doesn't actually show give the right message. Because we all understand that green doesn't signify danger. What signifies danger is red. So using the right colors to portray the right message when designing matters goes a long way. So we can actually improve on these and change the color so you can actually get the right message of what we are trying to portray. Red. With this can actually pass out the right message. Red. This can actually pass out the right message. So when you are designing, make sure you understand the color meaning and also understand color psychology. Because if you actually want to appeal to customers or users' emotions, you can't be using green to actually signify a danger. Because if I'm a user and I'm seeing this on your app to signify maybe danger or maybe a sign that is not pleasing, it will be an off for me. So when you are designing, make sure you understand the meaning of colors and make sure you understand when to use colors and how to use colors. So I don't know if there's any questions. I will just use 5 minutes to attend to that. Do you have any question? Do we have any question? If you guys understand, just say yes on the chat board, please. If you guys can hear me, say yes, please. James, you said not at the moment. Okay, what is not clear? What don't you understand, please? Okay, you said no question at the moment. Yeah, you can say something. Sema, also come up. Sema, you can speak.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Please,
ma.
concerning this design principle for colors. You
Yeah,
said the first one is color harmony. So the
yeah.
second one, my network was bad, so I couldn't get through.
Okay, the second one is color contrast. I said when you are blending two colors, you must understand, you must create a good contrast with one being a lighter version of the other. You get, you cannot actually create, you cannot actually design maybe a product and use colors that does not contrast. When we mean contrast, we are talking about color that actually stand at the on at opposite angle, black and white. You get, not, they should not be too close to each other. And we gave an example on what a bad design is, that does not actually follow the guideline on color contrast, and how to improve it. You can see on this one, this is a blue color. So using a blue color on the background and using a color that is close to the blue on the test will not actually show a good contrast, and it will not enable readability. User cannot be able to read this. So for you to actually ensure that your design follows guidelines and actually shows contrast, you must have a lighter version of the blue to actually improve your users' readability and usability. So one of the way we actually improve this design to this design is we actually took a lighter version of the blue we used on the background on the test as the test color. That's how you can see that this is not actually white. It looks like white, but it's not white. You can see it's F9, 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 F9. White is F, 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 F into 6 places. This is white. So you can actually use white as well, but what the principle is actually stating that you use a lighter version on the other color you're actually using, either on the background or on the test. Do you understand? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. So let's move. Okay, another principle is color accessibility. Color accessibility is that when using colors, ensures that your colors are accessible and comfortable to the eyes of everyone in regards to their visual ability. You must understand that not you are not designing for one particular set of people, and the persons you are actually designing for, a lot of them, they might have color blindness and all those stuff. So make sure that your design is not actually for one set of persons. Make sure your design is actually improve so that everybody can actually assess the design, can actually read the design. When you are designing for users, avoid using color combinations that are commonly problematic for colorblind users. Such colors, you can't blend green and red together. You can actually blend green and brown together, blue and purple. This can be challenging for users that has color deficiency. So let's just get an example of what I just said now. Blending green and red. Let's get a frame. Let's get a frame here. Let's get a shape. Let's get a shape. Let's get another shape here. Let's put this to red. Let's put this to green. And you can see these two colors for obeying the accessibility guideline. Please, when you are choosing color, don't blend green and red. It's very difficult for people that has color that has issue with their sight. Please don't blend red and green. At your end, you can actually, let's at your end, because we don't have much time, you can actually create maybe let's create something. Let's create let's create a card. This is what we call card. Card. Let's get a frame again. Let's get a frame. And let's get on splash. Let's put an image on splash. On splash. And let's get something like bag. Okay. Let's get back. Okay. Okay, let's give this bag a title. Let's say ladies ladies bag, ladies bag. Let's and let's give the bag a description. Let's give the bag a description. Let's give the bag a description. Let's say buy one bag and get two for free. Free. Let's get put this. Let's reduce this. Let's put 13. Okay. Let's give it a price tag. Let's say $20. Okay. We said don't blend green and blue, red and green together. So just to make sure that your red then green. Uh, red, red, green, green. You can see this is not a good design. It will actually those that actually have color blindness. It actually affects those that actually have color blindness. This is not actually a good design. This design is not accessible to all users. Please don't blend. There are some colors that's actually problematic for those that have that has color blindness. So don't blend colors like green and red together, green and brown, blue and purple, green and blue. Okay. Um So tips to achieve color accessibility: ensure sufficient contrast. Like we'll be saying, contrast is very key when you're actually blending colors. Avoid bad color combinations. I've stated it now. Maintain readability and usability. With this one, you cannot actually maintain readability. You can see, ladies bag, buy one bag and get two free. There's no sufficient contrast, and you cannot actually ensure that readers can actually read what is there. Then others is you know practice you must avoid if you want to maintain color accessibility. Avoid insufficient using insufficient color and ignoring contrast guidelines. Please, when you are using colors, don't ignore the guidelines. It's very, 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 very important. Then we talk about color differentiation. When using colors, ensures your colors are accessible and okay. Color differentiations is when you are using colors, you make sure that you give meaning to each element. If, for example, let's say we have let's create a visual a chart that we want to visualize uh, currencies. Let's visualize the currency. Let's visualize the currency. Okay, and let's give this a stroke of 3. All right. Then let's say we want to visualize currency on how individual currency, maybe the USD, the pounds and the naira. Let's visualize how they are faring in the market, in the forex market. Let's get a chart here. Let's move this to this. Let's move this to this. Let's get this. Let's get this. Let's get this here. Then let's make this test. Let's make this USD. USD. Let's get it 20. Let's get this. Let's see Naira and GN. Let's see UEUR. Okay, color differentiation state that when you are using color to portray a meaning, you make sure that each color gives a separate meaning to each element. So if, for example, we want to use color differentiation to actually visualize our chart, this is just a simple visualization chart. If you will actually want to differentiate all, because definitely USD, Naira, and EU portray different meaning and different signal in the market. Maybe the USD might be higher than the Naira and the Naira lower than the Euro. So these three actually have different outlook and different meaning. So giving them the same kind of color might actually be difficult for users to understand the meaning of what you're saying. So if you have all these colors like this, you want to visualize, and there's no distinction, you did not distinguish between the pounds, the euro, and the naira, then users will find it will be very difficult for users to understand what you are actually suggesting or what you're actually portraying. So color differentiation means that you should give each element different colors according to their uses or according to what they stand for. So let's say, for example, we're giving some black. If we want to differentiate between the USD from Naira, we can actually give maybe give the USD, maybe we give the USD something like, pink. Okay, this can give this something else. We can give this something else. Then we can give this something else. Let's give this some blue. We can give this one blue. So with this, a user can actually understand the meaning of this chart than this one. This one does not actually give, does not actually give the users proper meaning of what you are actually portraying using this visualization. But with this, I can actually understand that wherever I see this color, it actually portrays that it's for USD. When I see this, it's actually telling me that, okay, this is the Naira. When I see this across board, I understand that this is the Euro. But if you're using one color across board, users might not understand that this actually signifies the USD and this actually signifies the Naira, or this actually signifies Euro. Same as uh, uh, using, let's go to paper. You can see on this area, if paper use blue color on sign up and actually use blue color on login, same blue, you will not be able to understand which one is primary button and which one is secondary button. So, like I said earlier, primary button are buttons that actually, draw users' attention to take action. Like it actually gives users, it actually call users to actually take attention. So, if we do not apply, if paper do not apply color differentiation on their website, they are using blue on their background, using blue on the button background as well. User will not be able to know which one is the primary button and which one is the secondary button and which one is calling attention more. So for color differentiation, you must differentiate colors according to the user interface or according to the element, what the elements stand for on your website. Then we'll talk about color hierarchy. Using color to give more color hierarchy is you use color to give more importance or relevance to an element over others. Like I said earlier, is actually used to establish visual order or hierarchy and guide users' attention according to the importance of different elements. Like I said, yeah, look at this. If you can see on this website, clearly this is actually the primary button because it actually calls attention more than this. This one is the secondary button that actually supports this primary button. So if a first time user actually comes on the website, his attention is not to actually log in. Why? Because you've not actually created your user profile, you've not actually created your details on paper website. So as a first time user, your primary focus is actually to sign up on the website. So as users, as designer, what we do, we actually use color to establish hierarchy. We actually use color to, as a guide to actually, give elements to according to importance. So let's give an example. Let's take an example. Okay, so not waste much time. Let's get this. Let's get this. Okay, let me create another button just to signify what I've been saying. Let me create this button. Okay, so if this can be our primary button. So let's get what's the color? Blue. Blue. Let's give this a blue. Let's give this a white. F, 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 F. Let's give this a white. Then this blue we are having, let's get a lighter blue of it. If you can see, this color actually draw more attention than this one. Or most times when you're not using the blue color, when you're not using, maybe for example, you're not using a white background, maybe for example, you're using a different background, you can actually have an outline button that can actually give you a feel of the blue that can actually signify a differentiation. Let's get this. Let's give it a stroke. This is how you give a stroke. So giving the stroke blue. Give a stroke blue. Then let's take this down. Let's take this down. Let's give this one a white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then let's give this a blue. Blue. With this, you can understand that this one actually draws more attention than this. Sorry. You can see these buttons actually draw more attention than this. So color hierarchy is actually giving, to guide users' attention to the element that is most important on your website. If you can see on this color, we actually gave this on white, and we actually increase the button. We actually increase the size of the text. So when you enter the website, or let's say this is a website, when you enter the website, the most important stuff on the website is ensure your happiness, because this is what attracts users immediately they enter the website. This is what you see first immediately you enter the website. So immediately you enter the website, so what action are you taking? That's the next call. So this button can be buy, and the other less important stuff can be donate. And when you enter the website, you don't want to donate. What you want to do, you want to buy something. So color hierarchy is actually to establish order and to guide users' attention while using the website. Okay, so we are actually done with visual design principle as it relates to colors. So before we move ahead to talk about visual design principles as it pertains to text, does anybody have any question? Is there any question? Is there any question? If you understand, say yes on the chat box, please. If you understand, say yes on the chat box, please. Okay. Like I said earlier, the 60, 30, and 10 rules is not just used for, using sake on the website. You can actually use that for color hierarchy. When you are designing a platform, either a website or a mobile app, make sure that you choose a dominant color, which is the primary color, that reflects the primary actions or message that reflect the primary action on your website. This color should cover the largest area of color on your website. Like I said, if you check the paper, one of the most dominant color on the paper website is not the white. The white is just the background. Why? Because the white color does not actually draw more attention. If you can see, the white doesn't signify anything. You are not using it to actually create order. So what you're using to create order on this website is the blue. If you can see on this website, we have what called the hero session. This hero session is the blue. So it's giving more attention. When you come to this place, this is the primary button. The primary button took the blue color. So the blue color is actually drawing more attention of the user to actually take more action. If you come down, you can see this other part. This is another important area of the website, and it's not actually taking the white color. It's not actually taking the yellow color. It's actually taking the blue. And also, if you come down, you can see checkout with even more choices. So this color you see, this blue color is actually the primary color, and it's actually there to create hierarchy. You can see this color, though is a lighter shade of blue, but it's not the dominant color. So the dominant color is the blue, actually creating hierarchy on the website. And also, when you want to create, like I said, when you want to create a hierarchy on the website, you choose your primary color. This on this website, our primary color is blue. Then the other step you need to take, you need to choose your secondary color. Use your secondary color to support the primary color. This should be used less frequently on your website. If you can see, yes, you can see this other color. This can actually be stated as our secondary color. Is used less frequently on the website. I- It's not actually drawing more attention of the users. Then the third one, you use your tertiary color, your accent color. Your accent color should just be used, sparingly. It's just a 10% off. Okay, let's see. If you can see, this yellow can actually be uh, referred to our accent color. It actually is a color you use just to, it doesn't draw more attention. It's just a color to give, a feel, this kind of feel and this kind of beautification on the website. It can just be used once in the website. If you scroll down, you hardly see the yellow used multiple times. If you scroll down, you hardly see the yellow used multiple times. You just use maybe once or twice. This is called asset color, just once or twice. So these are where you actually create hierarchy with color on your website. If you can see, the most dominant color is the blue, followed by this text color, then the asset color, and the asset color is used 10% mostly on the website. So let's move straight to visual design principles for test. I don't know if we'll be able to cover that today, but let's try. Okay, one one of the visual design people, when you are using tests, there are some principles that should guide you to make sure you design a user-friendly product. One of the principle is called principle of legibility. So when you're creating and using tests in your design, the principle state that you should ensure that your test is clear and easy to read. I understand a lot of people are here that you know you like design. One thing I always say when you are designing, please, in as much as we always tell you innovate, but when you are designing, always go back to what people have done. Search websites, search mobile apps of what people have done. Most times, what you do as a designer, you model what they are doing. You get most times you model what they are doing. You don't just innovate. You don't just bring any kind of design and think that those stuff will actually appeal to users and or appeal to their emotions. So when you are actually designing as users, understand the principle of legibility. One tips you must understand is that use clear and readable font family. Don't just use, there are a lot of font families that are here, and not all are used for design. Some are used maybe for maybe graphic designs and articles and all those stuff. And one thing I will actually want to make you understand is that you are not a designer designing for print or designing for maybe a banner, designing for articles. No, as a UI UX designer, you are actually designing customer experience. And when you are designing customer experience, you don't just put any kind of font and you think that okay, users will actually understand what you are saying. Let's take for an example. Let's get a design. Let's get a design. Let's draw a frame and get a design. Let's let's get a lorem is some. Let's get let's get a lorem is some. I've put it now. Why are you like this? Okay. Let's say let's say let's say 10. It will not be too much. Let's say 10. Okay. I know it will be too much. Let's push down. Okay. Okay. Let's put this as regular. As a designer, if you're designing, be careful not to use any kind of font family. If you're actually designing a website, if you can see this one is Ubuntu, and you want to innovate, you want to bring life into your design, and you say, okay, let me design a website that is actually user friendly, and and you start using font family like this. As you can see, this is not actually a clear, readable font family. This will not actually improve the readability of users. Users cannot actually read this. If this font family is what you use or what you want to use on your design, I believe immediately users actually log into your website or log into the app, they won't even spend more than 20 seconds. They will just sign out. So the principle of legibility state that you must use a clear and readable font family. Let's see another font family. Let's see this. This one is, you can see this one is not a good design. This one is not a good font family. Let's see another font family. Then let's copy this. Let's copy this. Let's improve on this. Let's improve on this. Let's use man whoop. Man whoop. Man whoop. You can see this font family is very, this is not actually a good design because users cannot actually see. It's not legible. They cannot actually read. This one is more readable than this. So please, when you are choosing as a designer, when you are actually, you know, choosing a font family, make sure that your font is actually the font family you're choosing is actually clear enough for users to actually read. Then another state that use the right font size for the right content. Always maintain sufficient contrast between the text and the background of the text. We've actually talked about this on color, so I don't think we'll be dwelling more on this. So let's just talk about use the right font size for the right context. Let's say, for example, we want to put an header. We want to put uh, a title. Let's say the title, the title of the article. The principle state that use the right font size for the right content. So if we're putting this, it will be very difficult for users to understand which is the title of the article or which one is the story. You get so when you are actually designing either for a web or for mobile app, make sure you use the right font size for the right content. On this, instead of us using 16 along with the body 16, we can actually use, let's say, something like, let's say, we can use 33, we can use 24, depending on what you use, what you want to portray. And also, you can actually give this a bold color. So if users actually comes to your website, let's say this is a website, and they actually come to your website and they find out and they enter this page, it will be very easy for them to know which is the title and which is the body. If we say blue, and let's keep it 16, like what we did earlier. With this, it will be very difficult for users to know which one is the title. But when the user comes to your website, it's very, very easy for users to understand that, okay, this is the title of the article and this is the body of the article. So please, when you are actually designing, use the right font size for the right content. Always maintain sufficient contrast between the text. I've said that before on color, so you can actually go back on that. And also, we talk about hierarchy on color. There's also hierarchy while using text. So when creating and using text in your design, the principle state that you should ensure that you call the attention of your users to the most important text in your design by creating hierarchy of importance among the text in your design. So let's have let's get an example. One of the tips is giving a text a different font size from the font size you gave the other text around it. Like I said earlier, give a text a different font weight you give to the other text around it. Like I said earlier, giving a text a different and contrasting color that you gave to the other text around it. So let's get a frame and let's create let's create let's create a card again. Let's get let's get a frame. Let's get a frame. I like using bag for explanation. Let's use on splash to get an image on splash. Okay, on splash. Oh, okay. Let me use abstract. Okay, no, let me use bag or shoe. Okay, let's get this Nike. Sorry, I used it wrongly. Okay, let's come here. Say giving a text a different font size from the font size you gave the other text. So let's get a title of this. Maybe a company want to showcase its products, and let's put a Nike shoe. Let's say this is the title of the shoe. Let's say this is an e-commerce shop, and this Nike is sold for a lesser price when you order online. Okay, this is the description. Let's increase. This is the description of the Nike. Let's get this to 24. Then let's get the price of the Nike. Let's say the price of the Nike costs $50. If you are a user, if you enter a website and you're seeing something like this, maybe you enter Jumia or Alibaba and you see something like this actually does not show hierarchy, because you don't know which is the description, which is the text, and which is the price. Yes, you might actually understand this is the price, but it will take you a longer time. So a proper design, you can actually use hierarchy to ensure that you call the attention of users to the most important text in your design. So if you can see, I don't know if you can write on the chatbot, which one do you think is the most important element on this design? If you can write on the chatbot, which do you think is the most important element? If you are there, which do you think is the most important element on the chatbot? Okay, the brand name and price. No, I just want one. Which one do you think is the most important element? I need more answer. We are much in the room. More answer, please. More answer, please. More answer. Which do you think is the most important element? The brand name. The brand name. The price. Okay. The most important element on this cart or on this card is the brand name, which is Nike. Because if you enter an e-commerce website, what most times you if you want to search for products, let's say for example you want to scan through Amazon, and you can just come to this place, Amazon e-commerce. When you come to Amazon e-commerce website, what you do most times, if you're looking for maybe a bag, you can't just be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So what you normally do, you come to this place and you search for bag. You can say bags for women, and it takes you directly to the bag. So before you see the description, you will definitely want to know the name of the brand or the name of the title of the product or whatsoever. So the brand name, which is the Nike product, is the most important element. So what we need to do, we need to differentiate it. We need to give it a more, you know, to create more importance on this card. So what we need to do, one of the description is this: giving a test a different font size from the font size you gave the other test. So let's duplicate this. Let's duplicate this so we can actually compare. Let's let's give this let's give this 20. Let's say 20. Let's give this let's give this 12. Let's give this 12. Then let's give the line space, let's say 15. Okay. Then giving it a test different size, then giving a test a different font weight. So the font weight is either regular, bold, and medium. So let's give it a blue. Sorry, a bold weight. So giving it a bold weight, you can see that this actually shows more importance and is actually calling more attention. And is with this what we've done now, it's actually differentiating the title from the body or from the description. You can see it's actually a different design than what we have earlier. So if we actually want to improve on this, we can actually improve on this by giving this a lesser font weight. Sorry, a lesser font color. So this one is black. Let's give it another shade of black. Let's say three. You can see this black is different from this one, tending towards gray, but it's not gray, but it's a lesser shade of black. Let's make the opacity 80 and let's see. You can see it's actually different from this one. This one is actually a more showing more importance to the user that okay, this one is actually more important than this one. And also we can actually give you know the other most important element here is the price. We can decide to give the price maybe this one is this one is 12. Yeah, we can decide to give the price maybe 16. And if possible, we can decide to give the price maybe a medium font weight. With this, it's actually different from this. This is actually different from this. So this is how you actually create hierarchy with text on your website. All your elements should not carry the same font weight, the same font size, and the same color, because it will not actually shows which one is more important, which one is actually drawing users' attention, and which one is actually calling the attention of users. So let's go straight to consistent alignment. Consistent alignment, when creating and using text in your design, the principle state that you should ensure that you align your text to one area to create order that is pleasing to the users. So if actually we want to create consistent alignment, let's use this to actually create a consistent alignment. Let's take this as an example. Let's change this to something else. Let's change this to something else. Let's put abstract. Let's use this. Let's use this. Sorry. Let me use this one I've actually edited. Let me use this one I've edited. Let's say this is our card title. Let's say card or card name. You can see firstly we've actually differentiated this from this, and let's give this let's remove this and let's give this another lorem is some lorem. Let me give you a dummy test. Let me generate 5. Drag. Let's add a button to this. Let's add a button. I think we've created one button before. Let me just come here and take one button here. Let me get it. Let's paste it. Sorry. Control C. Control. Okay. Let's put this as a button. Let's say this is a card button. Let's increase this. Consistent alignment says that you should align your text to one angle. So if you are actually want to improve user experience, let's take this to 18. If you actually want to increase user experience and actually want to increase how users will actually function on your website and they get visit on your website, you must make sure that your tests are properly aligned. One of the assessments we the assignment I saw you guys did, a lot of stuff you guys, a lot of people did not actually, you know, think about aligning their tests and all that. I understand because this is the first time you're actually designing. You get, so now we're actually treating these principles. When you want to design, you make sure that you put all these principles to consideration. If let's alter this design, let's alter this design, and let's say let's give this an alignment of, let's say, this, and let's take this to this place. If you can see, this is a poor design, very poor design. The description is right, aligning to the right, while the buttons aligning to the right or the middle. This is actually a poor design. So the principle of consistency means alignment state that your design, your content or your elements should be aligned properly, taking one area of alignment. That doesn't mean that there are some design you don't use, you don't align on the middle. There are some design you just, you do, you put your alignment on the middle and stuff. But in terms of that, putting the description on the middle doesn't make you, or doesn't allow you to put the button at the right hand corner of your design. So you must understand alignment when you are dealing with, or when you are dealing with tests. Is there any question? So we can actually move on. Do you have any question? Do we have any question? Any question? Any question? Should you go ahead, please? Should we go ahead? Okay, none from your end. Okay, let's move to the principle of white spacing. This principle states that when creating and using tests in your design, you should ensure that you have adequate space around your test to improve the readability. You must ensure you have space around your test. Let's get a frame. Let's get a frame. Let's remove this. Let's remove this. Let's expand this. Let's take this up. Let's take this here. Let's take this. Let's expand. I saw a lot of design like this when some person submitted. So I'm not saying it's that bad, but this is the way we need to improve. Let's take this. Let's take this. Let's put this 12. You can see it will be very difficult for users to read this. True or false? Please, if you are a user, can you actually enjoy reading something like this? See, let's say you log into a website and you just what you are seeing on the website is something like this. This is very poor, right? So as a UI UX designer, you must understand the principle of white space. Ensure there is enough space around your test. Enough space. And when I mean enough space, there are guidelines actually on that spaces. But those guidelines, those stuff are just guidelines, and they are not actually a law. So as when time comes, we talk about material design and all those stuff. You see a lot of stuff in material design. But for us to improve on this, you will make sure to actually increase the user experience, there should be enough white space on your design. Enough white space on your design. Enough white space. Enough white space on your design. You can see you can see the edges. It's also called the margin. You can see them. You can see the white space. It's actually more. You can actually user can actually read this than this. This one is more. Is more readable than this one. Then if you can actually see this design can also be improved further. You get, so let's copy this and let's improve it. Can actually improve it further. Let's copy this and let's improve this. How do you improve it? You can improve it by adding a line space. Please let me tell you something. When your size of your font is a particular number, it should not be the same with your line space. So if you have a 12 as your font size, make sure that your line space is more than 12, or you are using the auto line space. If you use the auto line space, Figma automatically gives you a line space. You see, they automatically allocate a line space to it higher than higher than higher than the normal text the font size. So please make sure that when you are using when you are writing a test, or you are designing your website or your app, make sure your line space is more than your font size. If you can see, Figma gave us 16 as our line space. So you can actually add either, maybe 18. Most times I actually add more than, let's say I add 20, just to make sure that it gives the design more breathing space and stuff. So this is okay than this, more okay than this. And also you can actually, improve on this by increasing the font size to, let's say, 16, to actually give it more hierarchy and stuff. You can see this design is more okay than these two. And also, please, when you are allocating white space, don't just allocate any kind of white space. It's very poor for you to add 70, for example, as a white space. This is not white space. Users cannot actually read this. You actually, wasting the web page or your mobile app, because it tends users start scrolling down. Make sure you appropriate the right line space on your test. And also, let's move to principle of proximity. This principle says that related test elements should be grouped together and properly spaced from other elements that are not related. So that's why most times, let's get a website. um let's get something like, let's see the paper websites again. If you can see, let's move. You can see this item is grouped separately from this and from this. Let's move further. This is not actually showing. This website is not actually. There's no much grouping of item. But let me show you what I'm trying to explain because of time. When you are actually designing, you make sure that all items that are related, they are grouped together and separated from items that are not related. So let's get this. Let's remove this. Let's create maybe a page. Let's remove this. let's create like maybe a book release, the title and and the author's name. Let's say the book was released. The date release was date. Okay, date the blog was created. Let's use blog, or let's use article. Date the article was created. Okay, let's use this, and let's use this. Let's say the date is 15th May 2024, and let's put the author's name, names of the author, names or name of the author. Who wrote the article? Let's say let's use Peter. I know we have Peter in the class, so let me use Peter. Peter, let's say Peter John. Okay, John. Okay, if you're actually designing and you get to a point where you want to design items that are related, what you need to do, you need to group those items that are related together and separate it from those ones that are not related. Let's say, for example, you have something like this, something like this, something like this, something like this. It's very difficult for users to, immediately, it's very difficult for users to know what you are talking about. It's difficult for users to read what the article is saying, who created the article, when was the article published, and the name of the article or the name of the author. So because you are not actually following guidelines using this kind of design. So for us to actually improve on this design, what we need to do, we need to group items that are related together. The items that are related together, you can see the date when the article was released is actually related with the date 15th May 2024. And the name of the author who wrote the articles actually relates to Peter John. So what we need to do, we need to separate this. Let's say, for example, we take this, you get, and this. We've actually improved. Let me let me let me copy this so we can compare. We can take this down. So you can see that this design is actually different from the one up at the top, because this one actually shows us the groupings and which one is actually related to themselves. So you can see that the date the article was created is actually related to the actual date it was created, which is 15 May, and the name of the author is actually related to John. We can actually, improve on this as well. Let's copy. We can actually improve on this by adding other visual principle. Let's add a visual principle of hierarchy. Let's give you this one a bold a bold width. Let's give this one another width. Let's say bold. We can actually improve on this design. You get, and let's take this. Let's copy. Let's copy this, and let's give this. We talk about how to differentiate or create hierarchy on text. So we can actually give this a different size. We can give it 10, and we can actually give it a different font color. Let's give it 33333, and let's reduce the opacity to, let's say, 70. You can actually see that. You can see that with this. Let's do this as well. Let's give this one. This one is 10. Let's give this one 10. Let's give this one 10. And let's give this one um, 3. And let's give it 70, right? Let's increase the opacity. You can actually see if you're actually writing an article, you will see that this design, you can see that this design, we've actually improved the design to be more readable. That users can actually see what you are trying to portray and what you are trying to suggest. That the date the article was created was 15th May 2024, and the name of the article or the name of the author who wrote the article is Peter John. So this is the principle of uh, proximity. All items that are related, you group them together and also add proper spacing to differentiate those items. Then also the last is type consistency. Using one or two font family gives your design a more professional outlook and helps to stabilize the reading process and emotions of users. Please, when you are creating your design, don't use enough. Don't use 6 font family. Don't use 10. Don't use 2. Don't use 5. You can actually use just one font size, one font family. So the most recommended font family is either 1 to 2, except you want to go broader to actually introduce the third font family. The reason being that it will actually distort the reading pattern of users and actually distort the emotional process of users that actually those that are actually browsing your website. If you check paper, you find out that there's consistency in the type they are using. There's consistency in the type, in the font they used. One way to actually check fonts, later I'll show you guys that is what we call CSS paper. You can actually see that the font family is not that much. It's vertical something. I mean, array. So it's not just one font family they are using all through the website. Just one font family. Please, when you are creating website or when you are actually designing for users, don't try to invent and bring combination of 7 to 8 fonts and all those stuff. You can actually use one font size across board, one font type across board, and also you can actually use two. You can use one, maybe we use one for the ego session. Yeah, you can actually use one for the ego session and use other font type for maybe the text, the background. You can decide to say, okay, let me use one font size for all my call to action, all my buttons. Let me use one font size, and also let me use another font size for descriptions. So it's possible for you to use two font size, but please, when you are designing, stick to either one font size, or please stick to either two font size, one or either two. So let me just give you an example, and we call it off for today. Let's say this you want to design something like this. Let's say this here. Let me take this. Let me say this. Let's give it this font. Let's give this another font. Give this another font, and let's give this another font. You can see this is absolutely a poor design. When you are designing, please, we are begging you, don't design like this, thinking that it will actually help the users. No, it will not. When you are designing, make sure you stick to one. Don't invent. Don't introduce new innovation. Don't introduce new new thing and stuff. The only thing you just need to know the principle, know how to align your designs, and know how to actually appeal to users' emotion. Please stick to one type of design, one type of font, or you can actually, use two fonts type. Like I said, two font family. I said you can actually use one font for maybe the hero sessions, and use another font for maybe the body of the website. You can actually use one font for maybe all buttons across board, all elements across board, and use another type for maybe uh, the background test, or test in the body of test on the website. So please, like I said, type consistency matters a lot. Don't try to use plenty of font size type. Make sure you use one or two font family. So I think the class was supposed to end 5 o'clock, and we're actually on time. And I would like to take question so we can wrap it up for today. I'd like to take questions so we can wrap it up for the day. Any question, guys? Don't tell me you understand everything. I think there should be something that you don't understand. And if you actually understand everything, then you've been designing from your mother's womb. So if you don't understand, don't be shy. Let me know. Let's help ourselves. Any question, guys? Any question, guys? Hello, can we speak out, please? Hello, can you guys hear me? Okay, schedule, please come up.
All right, sir. Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
sir. While attempting the assignment we were given, I
Yeah.
created a button, and the button I'm not able to move it to the right side of the screen of my design. It
Okay.
keeps coming back to the left side. It keeps coming back. So I don't know what could be the cause, sir.
Okay. How did you create the button? We've not taught you guys how to create button. How did you create button? I actually
No,
saw.
it's back. Okay.
I actually saw a lot of buttons I created, and it was actually nice. You get, though there are principles of how we create buttons, and maybe interactive buttons and all that stuff. And I actually love what you guys did on your assessment. Though we've not taught you guys buttons, but you guys actually created buttons. So let's say you said you should not put it at the right side, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
It keeps coming back to the left.
let me create something for you. Let me create an header for you. Let's say this header. Let me say home. Let me say this is home, right? Uh, home. Okay. Let me explain what has not been explained to you guys that we will do some other time. We have what we call layout and auto layout. You get, when you want to create elements on your website or your mobile app, it's advisable you put your text on an auto layout. It's advisable you put it on an auto layout. What you guys have been doing since has been a regular layout. We just want to take you guys across a regular layout before we introduce auto layout. I think the last speaker that spoke last class actually sent a video teaching, going through auto layout and stuff. So if you're actually creating a test or you want to create an interactive element like buttons, it's advisable you put it on an auto layout. How do you create an auto layout test that put it on an auto layout? You come to this place, test. Let's say, for example, you put home, right? Home. Then you click at click outside the canvas. Then you click Shift A, right? If you can see Control Z, if you can see this left corner, you can see the home is just showing that this is test, right? But for you to put an auto layout, she's called Shift A. When you press the Shift A, you will see that the the icon, something like icon, changes from T to auto layout. Shift A on your Windows, Shift A, you can see that it actually changes to this kind of style. And also, this is what called auto layout. We have what called regular layout. How do you know your regular layout? If you create a frame, this shape you are seeing here, this stuff you see here, like that looks like an icon, this is what we call a layout. This is not a regular layout, rather. This is not an auto layout. So for you to know an auto layout is actually different from the shape is actually different from a regular layout. So this is an auto layout. So it's like I said, it's advisable that you put your test on an auto layout. So when you put your test on an auto layout, let's say for example you want to create header, you have the home, you have about, about, then you have maybe services, services, and you have a button that you want to create. Let's say let's say let's say apply now. Let us put apply, right? Then let's put a color to this button. Let's give it let's get the fill. Let's get the color, maybe let's say blue. Okay, then let's give a test. This test, we are trying to create button now. Let's give it a white color. Then let's normally this poor button, but let me just normally you don't increase and decrease, you just add paddings because I'm actually fast and I want to do this and leave. Let's get a corner radius of 14. So you've actually created a button. Right? Sorry about this. Okay. Let's get this. Let's get it 14. Let's reduce. No need. Let's add padding. Let's say let's get this 8. Let's get this maybe 16. Okay, this is the button, right? Like I said, you remember we talked about grouping all items that are related, right? So let's group this item together. We want to take this item to the left, so let's group it together. When you want to group together, you copy, you outline everything together, right? And press on your Windows Shift A. If you press Shift A, you've actually grouped these two together, right? Then if you want to group these three together, this one, you can actually move them. They are grouped together. And if you want to group them together, all of them, you copy, outline everything, and press your Shift A as well. So how do I want to, if I want to take this thing to the left, how would I take it to the left? If I extend this like this, you can see it's not moving, right? Because it's actually fixed and stick to what I've done. So for me to actually take my buttons to the right and take my let's say my home, about, services to the left, let me bring a frame. A desktop frame here. Let me get a desktop frame, MacBook. Okay, let's put it here. This is small, but how can I take this down and take this down? What I will do, I need to put this on here. This line in between both of them, I need to put it set as an auto. Instead of me to put this spacing, instead of me to put maybe 20 or whatever, this auto layout, I need to set it to auto. That's why it's advisable to, on a regular layout, if your tests are on regular tests or regular layout, you won't see this auto layout. That's why it's advisable to put your test on an auto layout. So it will be very easy if you want to actually treat stuff like this. So I can actually move to the left, to the right, and move this to the left, and move it to the left. If it's not on an auto layout, it will be very difficult to move. Let's take it back. Let's remove it from auto. It's 30. It will move because it's fixed to the container. You can see it here. It's fixed to the container. But if you change here to auto, that's why you must use auto. It's advisable, like I said, to use auto layout. The space in between. Now you can see. So if you want to align your header section, this is a poor header section, guys. Just for an example, if you want to align your header section, you can actually shift to this place and shift to this place. I don't know if you understand what I just said now. Hello? Hello? Who is the person that spoke last? Did this solve your issue?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Did this solve your issue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, like I said, it's advisable. We'll teach you when you come to that aspect. We'll teach you guys how to put your text on an auto layout, how to put your button, how to make your button responsive, and all those stuff. We'll teach you guys buttons, UI elements, how to make them responsive, how to align your text, your UI elements on your website and stuff. So we would have got straight to gone straight to UI fundamentals, where we talk about these are the stuff we needed to talk about: test field, how to create buttons, check bots, and all of that. So we'll not be able to do that today, but subsequent time, maybe the next 2 class, we'll talk about how to create your test feed, your buttons, your check bots, and all those stuff. All the UI elements you see or you can find on your website and on your mobile app. We'll teach you guys how to create all this stuff, and it's very easy. So you know how to align them, how to put them on a fixed bus, how to put them on a fixed container and stuff like that. So any other question? Seaman, you said you have a request. Seaman, can you come up? So we use 2 minutes to wrap up. Please, I have a question. My mic is still not working, but my question is regarding the assignment. What happened to the assignment? Morgan, please, are you on Slack? If you're on Slack, shout the admin up. He will guide you through. Are you on the Slack channel? Okay, yes. Shout the admin up. He will guide you through. So, any other question? Any other question, guys?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
It's actually a request.
Okay.
The assignment that was given to us the last time, I was unable to meet up with it. Like, I just logged in on the Slack today, so I don't know if there's any help you can help us with.
Yes, there's always a 2 days extension. You get?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a 2 days extension. After that extension, the Google Drive will be retrieved and revoked. You will not be able to access it.
And I saw something. Someone said Google Classroom or something.
Yeah, are you on the channel Slack channel?
Yes, I just joined today.
Okay, no problem. I'll put it on the announcement page. You will see it there. You see the link. Immediately after this lecture, 30 minutes from now, you see the link on the announcement channel, and you go through it. You see how to go through it, and you see the
all right. Thank you.
question. Yeah. Any other question, guys? Any other question? Do we have questions? Please, I need questions. We've talked about a lot of visual design principles, and these are the principles that will guide you guys doing your design. And if you tell me you don't understand, if you tell me you understand everything, then you are making me a good teacher, and I know I'm not a good teacher. Okay, if you understand, just say yes on the chat box so we can call it today. If you understand, let me say yes on the chat box. Just let me see yes on the chat box if you understand. Let me say yes. Okay. I will just pick somebody and we'll wrap it up for the day. Victor, you say you understand. Please, what did you understand? Just use 1 minute to tell us what you understood. Just 1 minute, Victor. 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 Okay, Caleb, you are the next. Tell me what you understand. Just 1 minute.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. So, part of what I learned today was the use of color. You mentioned that whenever we are using color, we should not use too brighter colors that tend to be opposing, like tend to be calling attention at the same time. If peradventure we have to like use two colors, we should use not too bright. The color should not be bright. Then you talked about font as well. That whenever we are using font, whenever we are trying to combine font, that it is always recommended to stick to one particular font or two. That we should not combine 7 colors together. So at least everything will not be tampered. So just to
Okay.
mention by a few.
Okay, I like that. Thank you so much for the feedback. It actually shows that you guys actually understand what we'll be saying. So I wanted to ask about the assignment because I am just doing mine now. The deadline was supposed to be today, but the extended deadline is Friday, 12 p.m. noon. So if you are just doing yours, make sure you complete it before that time. The reason why we're giving you guys assignment, we have a lot of stuff we need to do, but we just wanted you to know to see your first design and compare it with your final design after the boot camp, so you will understand how far you've improved. So if you think you've not done yours, please, it's advisable you do yours. Please, not for anything. We don't need you to do it perfectly. Try and do anything and drop it there. And funny enough, a lot of you might be getting 95 over 100, 90 over 100, 100 over 100. Why? Because we must be we must be frank and be lenient with you guys because you are just coming into the design space. But as we progress, as we go on, it might even get to the maybe the fourth week or the fifth week. Your assignment, you might even be seeing 40 over 100 because we expect more from you. You understand? Because we will be very strict in the marking. But for now, we will not be strict. But as we progress, we'll be strict when allocating marks and stuff. So Aziz, just come up so we can end.
To say,
Aziz,
um, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
afternoon. Yes.
Yeah, I said what I would love to say is that guys, please try and communicate with each other on the Slack channel. Try and communicate with each other on the Slack channel because anytime I come there, it's always so quiet, except maybe there's an announcement or so. You guys should try and communicate with each other. The collaboration, the communication, the network you make right now, like lifelong. These are things that help you. I've had people that I've connected with in earlier courses that I've taken in my career journey that's helped me a lot. Understand? So you don't know who you're going to network with, who is going to help you. So just try and network with. You don't know who has the opportunity. You don't know who. So just try and network with each other. Get to know each other more. You guys should have conversation in the group. So you don't know. You can never say where your first gig will come from. So just try and network. You understand?
So thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and it's a nice observation. Please network, and one of the your assessment. Let me just give you an hint. The next assessment might be for you conducting an interview. So we are going to pay you guys to conduct interview. When we teach you how to do interview, how to do a survey, we'll pay you guys to do the interview, to do a survey. So it will be practical and you send us the link. So if we pay you and you don't come on board, it's your own loss. It's not our loss. I know how to do interview. The speaker, the instructor that just spoke knows how to do interview. So what we are doing is at every touch point, we want to make you practice it so that it will be very easy. Before 3 months, you are done and you are a pro when it comes to design. But most times when you attend some classes, it gets to the last, the maybe the last period of the boot camp, the final day, before they tell you, yeah, do this and do that. And when you get to the last day, you find out that you've never done anything. You don't even know what they're saying. But please, when we give you something, do it. And on the Slack channel, please, immediately we end this call, just say something. send an emoji on the Slack channel so I will know we are together. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate. We're gonna call it off for today. See you guys on Saturday for the next class. Bye bye. Oh, tell me, you can tell me, please come up, come up.
Yeah, good day.
Good day.
I'm talking about. I just want to put more light on the Slack issue. Actually, the Slack does not support my phone, so if I want to go to Slack, I need to on my system. So what I'm trying to say is, I don't know if there's another means which we can use to communicate better.
Okay, we have Slack on web and Slack on mobile. You understand? So you can actually go to web and sign up
On
on web.
mobile,
We have Slack on web. On the,
I'm talking of mobile. It's not supporting my phone.
that's what I'm saying. If it's not supporting your phone, it means that maybe you want to download the application, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that
Okay, I should use the web on my phone.
yes, use the website.
Okay,
It
okay.
will
I'll
work on
try
the
that.
website. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Aziz.
So I must say I will commend you guys for your assignments. I see that most of you guys have like taking your time to do it, and that's something great because I feel taking your assignment seriously is what is going to really help you. Because me over time it was me for me doing like works, different works. At a point, I'll tell you, I wasn't good at presentation design at a point. So it was like a challenge came and okay, do this presentation design and okay, do this. So from there I started getting it. So you learn by doing. Most times, that is, I will say it works for almost everybody. I'm not saying, but for almost for everybody. I've seen it work for me. I've seen it work for like many people. So I think learning by doing is going to work a lot. So you doing your assignment, doing your assessments, your classwork, asking questions, even going out to practice on your own, even when nobody is instructing you, these are things that are even going to help you. I remember times when me myself, I wasn't able to design dashboards, I wasn't able to design like responsive website. So, but by doing over time. So I've even had seniors, like people that are more experienced than me, if you come to me and say, "Oh, good, yeah, your designs are good." So it's just like that. You have to keep on practicing, keep on doing. Before you know it, you're a pro, to be honest. You're a pro.
Thank you, Mujib. Thanks, guys, for coming on board. See you guys on Saturday. Make sure you come on time and don't miss the next class. Bye bye.